I tell people all the time I may be the only guy that you'll ever meet from Stephenville, Texas that doesn't team rope, enough belt buckle, enough cowboy hat, and ride horses. Didn't show animals, you know.
When you wanted to coach, what sport?
Football. Football, yeah.
I can see it.
It's been my first love. My family. I have a huge football family. I still love it. So it was fun for a long time. But yeah, the football now about all I can do is be a very average golfer.
Man, that's awesome. I like the I grew up loving football too. I loved every bit of it. I kind of went down the similar path. Like I really thought about being a coach for a while, and there's sometimes I still like, man, I would love. I go to high school football games, try to go to make 1 or 2 college football games a year to watch, and but it's kind of the same thing. Like I'd love to have some money someday. I wanted to do a lot of other things, and on a teacher salary, it wasn't going to cut it.
You have to love it.
Yeah, it's got to
love.
Yeah, a passion for it. Absolutely. But,
and I've got probably 30 good friends from college that are head coaches now, and I mean they speak the language. If you meet a sure enough coach that's been in it, I mean that's their deal. That's their life. You know, like Zach's father-in-law, coach forever. It's funny. I see him randomly retired at football games all over the place.
All the time.
That's the deal. I mean, he loves
does.
it. And so, what are you going to do? Well, it's Friday. I'm going to go find a football game to go to.
Right.
Period.
Right.
And so, that's, you know, those are the guys that are successful.
Yes, sir.
I just never had
sons.
Uh-huh.
They're going to play football?
I have one. Yes, he will.
Awesome. He will.
Hopefully.
Absolutely.
See, he was so nervous. He was so nervous about. He's like, I don't know if he's going to be a football player or whatever. And they had their first game was this year, right?
Yeah, like you don't know.
And
I mean, I told Trey Watson, and he was coaching with me, and I said, "What are you going to do?" Like what? But here's the deal: you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, what if he gets out there and just
he was
like,
so worked up.
Yeah.
What do you do? Then you're like, oh, no. Because you don't know. And so the first time you see any aggressiveness, you're like, oh, yeah, there's a chance.
You want to come tackle me?
There's a chance.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was.
I never had the itch like Sterling did. Sterling had that itch of he loved playing football. And I loved playing the sport, not for the same reason. So I love the what it took to get in the place to win, right?
Yeah.
I like that part. The sport itself, I was like, man, this kind of hurts, you know, especially now later in life. It's like, oh, these joints. But the best part about football is I got to play with him. And, man, it was anybody that gets to play with their siblings in that sport, I mean, it's the closest feeling, I think, other than actually going to war, that you get to have.
Oh, yeah.
And we still use quite a bit of what we learned from our coaches. And, you know, when we were in high school, we took for granted how great we had as coaches. We had some wonderful coaches.
Yeah.
And they loved the game. And I think you can definitely tell the difference from coaching staff across the board that just loves the game, that's there for the kids and there for the game, and the difference of somebody that's just not locked into it. And that's what made it so much fun for us, is because we had coaches that would take time away from their family to teach us, to do film with us, to, you know, before school workouts, after school workouts, everything was about it. And for me, like I said, he loved it. He wanted to go on. He wanted to play it in college. I didn't have that desire, but I love what it taught me. And I think kids that aren't playing football are missing that element. They get it in other sports, but just
That's not the same.
the brutal, you're going to go out there, it's going to suck.
It's raw.
Yeah.
We had a coach came in on my junior year. He implemented something like every Monday we're going to run 40/40s. And I was like, one of the worst things like I've ever had to go through. Like
So
after practice, we're gonna
mile
run
of wind sprints.
and then we're going to do on Tuesdays we're going to run 2100s. You know, just the conditioning. We went to a small school, you know, 2A high school, so we had to be conditioned properly, you know. And but it was cool. I don't know. quarterfinals, played in Shiner. Got to play our last set of downs right beside each other.
Were those brothers there then?
No,
From
they
Shiner?
were Harrison's age.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a quarterback.
Those are some
though.
dudes.
Yeah, they were. I think the youngest brother was a freshman on that game, but he actually played. So we did play against the older brother.
Right.
But the quarterback of that game actually went on to play at Air Force.
Yeah.
Dude was a stud. But we played right our last set of downs, like I said, we're right beside each other. And we had a football coach that we still talk to today. Actually, 3 of them we still visit with.
Yeah.
And he put Harrison in on he thought it might be the end of the game. And it was a close game, lost 10-14, but the last set of downs, last 3 minutes, he sent Harrison in to play right beside me. And he was real close with his brother too. And they were on a class that actually won state. And so it was really, really neat to have that experience. And I'll always appreciate that coach for doing that, you know. So they definitely have a good spot in my heart for that kind of stuff. But
Football's definitely has changed in the last since we graduated. I think 2 days is drastically different from what it was when we were there. And then the fields, you know, the practice fields are just nicer than what the regular fields we play
The
on.
facilities.
Yeah.
It's pretty much everything.
I'm like, we had goat heads in my practice field. Like kids would walk around with a whole burr of goat heads, and you pissed them off. You just grab it and you'd hit somebody's arm and just be goat heads, and you pull them out and you're bleeding. And that was the practice field. And I don't know anybody that's doing that still. You know,
A lot of it's turf.
yeah. And I remember playing on our first turf field, and I'm like, how do you run in this? Like, this is slick. You know, I'm like, where's the soft spot? You know, we were playing Pee Wee football in a sewage field.
when I graduated, like I said, I was real passionate about football. I mean, that's all I freaking wanted to do. All I did was lift weights, and all I did was watch film. Like, I was just insanely obsessed with it. And Harrison, 2 years younger than me, and after I graduated from Thorndale, my parents moved back to Mason. So Harrison transfers to Mason, and Harrison's first year there, they moved him to tight tackle. Burns was the coach. And
Cade?
Cade was. And he was actually my coach at Thorndale for 2 years. So there was a little gap there. So we knew him and his family real well. And but they ended up making a run all the way to state. And they got their butts whooped by Canadian that year. But I mean, he got to play in Jerry World and everything. And he comes back home to Mason. It's 4 a.m. And I'm like, hey, Dad, I know you're banged up and upset, but, you know, what was it like playing in Jerry World? And, you know, it was a close game until the second half, you know, like, he just goes, Sterling, it was really hot down there. That's all he had to say. I said, I have the game recorded on DirecTV. So you want to rewatch it? No, I don't want to rewatch it. Like, just over it, you know? Just couldn't wait to go hop back on a dozer and get after it. And then our oldest brother, he actually played in the state game too, his senior year with Hutto.
Okay.
And they played Tatum. They lost to Tatum 38-34. And then his quarterback, Jeremy Curley, ended up playing for TCU as a punt returner and slot receiver. Played for the Jets and the 49ers, like 11-year career or something like that, you know?
The one brother that should have played in a state game in a professional setting did not get it.
And Dad was a quarterback in high school, and he was always pissed off. He goes, I had 3 sons. Every fucking one of them was a lineman. But no, I like talking about goals and stuff. We, you know, usually we keep this really like agriculture and construction and equipment focused, you know, and we tie it back into entrepreneurship and things. And so it was really cool to have y'all on. And like I said, and I can tie it all back together because what the syndicate's doing for the stock show is 100% agricultural related. What your business is definitely a part of agriculture on the end of it, on the consumer aspect of it, on the producing side,
oil field,
and oil field construction. So all these fields of entrepreneurship tie in, and it's all networking, and it's people, and it's raising money for a better goal, right? And so I really appreciate y'all taking your time out to come on. If someone hears this and wants to donate to the cause for the syndicate, for the sale of the show, that wants to be a part of that and raise the floor, what is a good resource and outlet for them to donate to?
Probably the best resources to go to the website,
Go to the website.
sasss.org. And there they can find all the information, contact information, buttons to click, right, to
Any
make a
questions
donation. Any
about-
questions? Yeah.
about any of it, somebody would be very happy to talk to them.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank y'all again for coming
Yeah.
on. Appreciate
Sure,
it.
thanks for having
Absolutely.
us.
Thank you all.